Hi folks, welcome to Exposed, or welcome back to Exposed, and if I'm welcoming you back and you like it here, I hope you'll stay and subscribe. I'm back! We are currently at 65 degrees and cloudy, and they promised rain but there's no sign of it yet, so I've got fingers and toes crossed for a downpour. But I feel like a human being once more. Thank you to all of you that have checked in with me and sent me messages and all the rest of it. You're so cute. Thank you. Yep, we're fine. We just I don't like the sun. I should have been a vampire. I do not like the sun. Never have done. Even as a child couldn't stand it. But hey ho. Hopefully we're over the worst of it. And for those of you over there with 108 and 111 in the Carolinas and all the rest of it, no. I don't know how you do it. I really do not know. My thoughts and well wishes go out to you. All of you, stay safe, stay hydrated, and stay out of the damn sun. Not only does it get you too hot and make you miserable, it ages you up as well, so you don't need it. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots. Well, I'm saying lots and lots. A few people asked me to do this video while we're in the middle of the heat wave. And there was a lot of talk about it on the Gossip Bakery, but I didn't read the post because I don't like to know what I'm going into before I go into it if I've not seen it before, obviously. But the first thing that hits me, this is called... Shut up with your stupid car. 5 tips to enjoy motherhood and enhance your marriage. Really, she's going to be giving us advice again. God help us all. What struck me the minute I looked at this was... Why are you downstairs? This is where her kitchen nook eatery thing's supposed to be. It's all open plan, so I don't see the point myself. But anywho, this area where she sat is supposed to be where they eat breakfast. And she has yet to buy a table. Unless she's now bought one and that's what she's sat at. I've no idea. The other side of the house, the front of the house, is where the dining table is. And where she does her swimwear. Oh, what's the name of the thing? Catwalk. Up and down in front of the windows so all the workmen on the other houses can see her. Yeah, we know what you're doing, Lisa. We're not stupid. So she wanted this house so she had the entire upstairs as her kingdom. There was a bathroom. There was a bedroom. There was huge closets. There's a massive big room. There's a balcony. It was all going to be for her to do catwalks and get ready with me and all the rest of it. And where is she? Down fucking stairs. God, she's irritating. She does irritate the life out of me. But can you imagine fucking living with her? I'd be like, I thought you wanted you don't want the upstairs? Right, it's a rumpus room. Fuck you. I'd bring in a foosball table and a fucking dartboard. You name it, it'd all be up there. Big screen TV for watching the game. Fuck you. Honestly, she gets it and pick. Oh, she's so nice. See, she's such a nice southern lady. She's not a nice southern lady. She's a covert narcissist who puts on a great fucking act. And if you hate me for saying that, I don't care. It's the truth. Hang around. Watch a few videos. See the truth. Don't be conned by this woman. If you want to watch her just to see what she's bought and what have you, and you enjoy her videos, have at it. I don't care. But don't get conned into thinking she's a nice lady that thinks of you. No, she spends all week thinking, I'm so het up, aren't I? You can tell it's been a while since I've made a video. My gob's on super drive. She spends all week thinking of ways to con you out of your money by showing you things that you don't need so that you click on and buy it. She gets a kickback, and if she feels like it, she'll return it and never mention it again. She's got that stupid tiger picture up on the wall that she used to have over the settee in the other house. Her taste, I just don't get it. But anyway, shall we jump in? Before it's 3 days later and I haven't even done the video.
Hey everyone, it's Lisa and today is Monday, and I kind of wanted to pivot from the video that I did Friday and talk to you.
Pivot from spending a fortune and trying to get you to spend a fortune to giving you advice and making you think that I give a shit about you, so that next time I do a haul video, you'll buy everything. Ta-da!
Moms out there, and I always say young moms, but I just mean, I guess, moms of young children, because you could be any age. I was probably like a little bit of an older mom because John and I, it's both our second marriages. We didn't have children before. So I was 29 when Brooke was born and 33 when Will was born.
Was that considered old? I was 29 when I got married. So I was 29 when I got pregnant. Yeah, my mother was like, when's he due? When's the baby due? When's the baby due? When's the baby? Fuck off. I got married in June and I fell pregnant in August. Fuck you. The entire pregnancy she did that. When did you say the baby was due? What date did you say the baby was due? And she wonders why I don't talk to her. Anyway, I was 29 when I got married. So I was 29 when I fell pregnant, but I was 30 when I had my son. And then my son was 7 when I had my daughter. So I was 37 when I had... Was I 37? Yeah. So is that old? I've heard of people in their 50s having children. I don't think you're ever too old, so long as you're prepared for it. Sorry, I've got a telly on and there's a bloke drunk in a van going mental trying to punch the windows out. What the hell is this? Below Deck. Right, another fucking reality programme that nobody asked for. Yeah, so is that old? I mean, or do you... Because, see, I thought you did things older in America, because you can't drink till you're 21, and most people go to college and they get married and then they spend years with their partner travelling and building a life and having fun and whatever, and then they have kids. I thought we were a bit backwards here, because people get married and have babies straight away. We don't... Very rare that people spend a lot of time with the person they've married, because... Anyway, does any of that matter? No. But I don't think she was old. So is she already saying that she felt inadequate at the school gates because she was the older mum? Oh, let's all feel sorry for her.
So a lot of the girls around me were younger and, still are. That's what I mean. Moms of young children. That is just such a pivotal part of your life. And to me, arguably,
Is pivotal a new word? We've had it twice now. We've had pivot and pivotal. Was that in her daily devotional or a book of quotes of the day? It's like Lardy. You always know when she's learnt a new word, because it's over and over, and it's, you read that today, did you? Okay.
The most important part of your life. So I love passing along the things that I think I did right, and the many, many, many things that I think I did wrong. Now it's easy to look back. When you're 51, it's easy to look back to your 30s and realize what wasn't worth worrying about, what I should have paid more attention to, and that's what I want to share with you. I'm not preaching, I'm just merely sharing from my heart things that I think will enhance your life now, enhance your children's lives, and enhance your marriage, and enhance your future.
Right. So you're not preaching, you're just telling us things that you think might help. How come then, when people tell you things that they think might help, you take that as people preaching at you, fussing at you, and you don't like it, so you delete it and block them? I'd like to say, I think you'd look better if you covered your tits up. But you'd take that as an insult, wouldn't you? I told you, please don't drive and take selfies. Or use your phone while you're driving, it's dangerous. Did you listen? No, and I have photographs from your fucking Instagram, where you're still doing it now. But what do? You put them on your Insta stories, don't you? So that they're gone in 24 hours, so there's no proof. Huh. Twat.
I've got so many things that I'm going to have to split this up into. I've got fashion tips. I had someone
What's fashion tips got to do with young mums? Really? If you're a young first-time mum, the only thing you're thinking about is there sick on my top and can I go out of the house looking like this? Fashion tips. Is that what you were doing back in the day and ignoring your children? That's why now you're going to say things you did wrong? Probably. Maybe I shouldn't have spent $100 a week just on myself. Huh.
Someone asked me about being a young mom and being on a budget. That really strikes home with me. I really want to get into that. I want to tell you especially the things that I did wrong. So I'm going to
Spending $100 on yourself every week, that was wrong.
split this up. Today I'm just going to go over 5 points that I think are very important. These things, some of them I did right, some of them I did wrong. The first one is, if you are in a mom group, a church group, a friendship, even a just serious friendship, maybe they're a neighbor, maybe they're, someone you met, friend of a friend, if they make you feel bad in any way, and you may not even recognize it, you need to think about it. When you feel inferior, did it come from a conversation with this friend? And it's just little teeny
tiny things that piss me off. When I was a young mum, so I cut everybody out of my life because I couldn't fucking cope with anybody having an opinion different to mine. You know she's going on when the fingers are together and the is out. She's pissed. And she's still carrying that pissedness, I've made a new word, around with her. No one can make you feel less than, Lisa, only yourself. You chose to feel less than. I'm sure at no point did any of these other mothers stand there, look down their nose and go, oh, I wouldn't be wearing those shoes. It would probably have been a fleeting fucking thought in a conversation about, have you tried this shampoo? Or have you tried a green eyeliner? And you will take it as an insult every fucking time. You'll twist it around. So they were having a go at you. And then I bet you came home. John, everyone's mean to me. I need to go and buy something to make myself feel better. Give me more money.
Things. It's little comments they can say about your children. Little comments that they'll say about your home. Little comments that they'll say about your car. And it may not even seem like an insult, but
it may not even seem like an insult because it probably wasn't meant as a fucking insult.
Know how people make you feel. If you have someone in your life that does that, politely, gently, get them out of your life. I used to say break up with them. That was my thing. I had to break up with many people. Some I didn't do soon enough. And the things that they said to me, I can still hear.
Yes, I can see that you still feel it and hear it and hate it. And maybe had you told that person that what they were saying made you feel bad, they'd have stopped saying it. But you never grew up, did you? No, put a lid on that. Mama says don't think about the bad things. Just shut it all away and forget about it. What I want you to do a video on, here's a video idea, Lisa. I want you to do a video telling me exactly, word for word, what these people said. That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Hear it. I can still see the look on their face when they said it to me because it just hurt so deep. Because I'm someone who really, I know I don't seem like the most warm and fuzzy person sometimes. Even in person, I probably don't. But I always say this, I don't vibe with a whole lot of people. I like a lot of people, but there's just some people I really connect with. And if that happens, I tend to really go deep with that person. And sometimes that happens and then that person ends up just not making you feel the best. And so it's hard to break up with them.
Right, so you want only people around you that make you feel good. So they could be a mass fucking murderer, but because they're saying, oh, I love your eyeshadow, they're okay. For example, you're still friends with Lardy on Instagram. You like her pictures. You joke with her occasionally on her pictures. You want someone like that in your life, really. The people you need to break up with are the kiss arses, and you need to listen to what people are saying. Oh, I'm not listening. No, I don't want... You'd be the one that'd have a complete fucking meltdown in a changing room if your best friend said, I'd size up in that dress if I were you. Your bum looks a bit big in it. Unless now things are back round the other way and you want your bum to look big in things. But you don't want the best friend that's going to stand behind you and go, maybe that isn't your best look, but they'll still be there holding your hair when you're throwing up in the sink. Do you know what I mean? It's like, why can't these women take fucking comments from normal people without having a complete and utter fucking nervous breakdown? It's pathetic, it really is. And she's turned her daughter into a fucking carbon copy of her, shouting out for fucking... what's the word? Attention on Instagram. All you see are pictures of her tits and her ass. And I'm sure there's more to her than that. But that's what she's been shown works. What's mum done all her life? Shown pictures of her tits and her ass. So, like mother, like daughter.
But I have just learned you have to do that for your sanity, for your, even your marriage, because that person can make you feel inferior. And what do? You turn around to your husband. Why don't I have a BMW like so-and-so does? I remember the days of pulling up at birthday parties to homes on the water and...
Oh, is that why you want the home on the water? Is it? Is that what you've craved all the time and that's what you thought you would have got, but you never did, and so you're still fucking salty about it? Great use of words there. Water, salty. Did anyone else get it? No? Just me? Okay.
And outside would be, of course, there would be minivans, which I never cared for. I had two Volkswagen Passat.
Right. There were minivans that I didn't care for. Did you ever say to any of the minivan owners, oh, I don't care for minivans? Do you think the minivan owners gave a shit that you didn't care for minivans? Do you think the BMW owners just bought the BMW to piss you off? What goes on in that fucking empty head of hers?
Wagons, and I loved them. So I would, you'd see the BMW, the Lexus, the, big Suburban, all of the...
Hang on a fucking minute. Weren't you the one fucking bragging and preaching about, oh, when I was married to my first husband, I had a Corvette? Guess what, Lisa? I've never had a car, and I couldn't give a fucking shit. I've often looked at little Mini Coopers and thought they were cute, until I figured out how fucking close to the ground you are when you're driving them. If you go past a Juggernaut, you'd shit yourself, so they're off the thing. Why? You're the one that's made cars the thing. Oh, we always had good cars. Well, not good enough by the sounds of it. What does it matter what you're driving, so long as it's safe and the kids fit in it? What else does it... When the kids are grown up, now's the time to buy whatever the fuck you want and drive around with it. Have your midlife crisis with your Tesla. No one cares. But she remembers every car they had and how it hurt. Wasn't them trying to make you feel inferior, you fuckwit. It was you that felt inferior because you wanted what they had and you didn't have it at the time. So now you're buying everything you ever wanted and spending every penny you ever made to show them, look what happened in the end. I've got everything and you've got nothing. It's sad. It's so fucking sad.
nicer cars. And so that's, your first impression. Then you're going into this house that's so much bigger. Then you're going to this birthday party with a clown, a pony, a whole bouncy house and everything.
Can you see how fucking irritated she still is? Mama didn't do very well teaching you to put the bad thoughts away, did she? Because you've still got them. They're still bubbling just under the surface. Who'd want to be friends with someone like her? You couldn't trust her as far as you could throw her. We hear you. Maybe get out of the car and knock on the door, huh? That'd be an idea. Just sitting in the middle of the road and fucking bibbing. They had everything Lisa wanted, and Lisa sulked. And you just know she went home. John, they have this. John, they have that. John, they had this. John, why don't we have this? John, why don't I have that? John, why? And in the end, he probably just said, "Fuck's sake, just buy the damn thing and shut up."
Else, and it's easy to let that make you feel less than. I was pretty good about this. I would reflect to myself, I don't want that payment of that BMW. I don't want that payment of this house. I'm not ready to live on the water because it would freak me out living on the water with small children. I am not jealous of this.
Can you please learn how to say water, Lisa? Please. Water and doctor. And then I might leave you alone. Please. It's like nails on a fucking chalkboard.
Person, because their marriage is not good, and I'm just going to not hold that against them, whatever they just said. So I would try to reflect on things like that.
I would laugh at the fact that they had a bad marriage. And I didn't. Hey, you're a great friend, aren't you? Isn't she just the greatest friend? Where are the tips? 5 tips. Where's the tips? I haven't had... What are we? 5 minutes in and no tips.
And then think about all the things that I had to be grateful for. That would usually, bring me back. But there were people that just always seemed to slightly make me feel less than.
You let them. They weren't doing it deliberate. They were just living their lives. It's like me saying, I went to a friend's house and they had an ensuite bathroom and they made me feel inferior. No. They have a bigger house than me. They have an ensuite bathroom. I fucking hate them. I'm going to hit them with a shovel and take their house over. No. But the thing, do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, other people have fucking ensuites all over the place. I see them every day. Most Americans have their own bathroom. Do I hate them? No. I just want one. And pray for the day when I do have one. But other than that, they don't make me feel inferior because they've got a big house and an ensuite bathroom. Right place, right time. One day I might have one. Maybe I won't. Maybe one day my children will move out. But then I'll still have to share it with my husband. I will get my ensuite one day. Hopefully. And if I don't, I don't. But nobody that has one makes me feel inferior, Lisa. You made yourself feel bad because you wanted the house on the water with the BMW and all the rest that went with it, the ponies and the bouncy castles, and you didn't have that. So you cut them out of your... Did that what she said? She cut them out of her life. Oh, great. So the kids never went again to the house on the water with the ponies and the bouncy castles. So kids lost out, not you. You didn't want to be there in the first place.
Make me feel like I needed something bigger, better, and the best thing you can ever do is to politely, gently break up with that person and find your group. Even if it's one person, find that person that you don't feel judged by, you don't feel inferior to, you don't feel like they're talking behind your back. You don't feel like they're competing with your kids with their kids. I mean, you know what
You don't feel like. You don't feel like. You don't feel like. Play that over in your head, Lisa. What does that tell you? You were the problem. You let the fact that they had more than you make you feel bad. It wasn't them, it was you.
I was so lucky. The little street that we lived on in my last house, I had a neighbor across the street and she had 2 girls, and I tell her all the time, I miss her so much, and I admired her so much. She was such a good mom. I could tell she loved my kids. I could tell she cared about me. She never once said anything snide to me. She had a good marriage. I felt like we had a lot of the same values. And a lot of times, we would spend time talking about yard work and stuff, which I'll get into. We would, maybe walk up to the bus stop. And looking back, I just really value her and I miss her. And then I had some other friends too that I knew cared about my children, cared about me, and never made me feel bad.
Me, 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 me. What did you care about them? Did you love their children?
But I would say there were more people that didn't. Now, I know you'll be in friend groups and everything with some people. Just try to not go deep with them. Try to keep it a polite, just friendly conversation, and just try not to let them in your heart, because that's when someone can.
Can I just say, if any of the people that were listening to this video when Lisa put it out are listening to this one, don't listen to a word she's saying. Don't listen to her. You'll end up lonely and alone because you'll think everyone's out to get you and they're not.
Can really, really hurt you. Okay, number 2. This is something.
Oh, that was the tip, was it? Break up with people that are better than you. Okay.
That I think I did right. And I think that because of social media, because of YouTube, a lot of this has gotten lost. A lot of girls, they're into makeup, into fashion, then they end up getting married and, having children, and they're still kind of clinging on to that makeup and fashion.
Like you mean?
Mindset. And I think what you have to do is kind of let go of that. I'm not saying let go of yourself, let go of what's important, but shift your focus a little bit onto more home children type things. I can remember really getting into even cleaning, like really getting into keeping.
What the fuck? You only got into cleaning after you had the children? Is that what you're saying? What is she saying? That a new young mum can't be wearing what's in fashion and doing their makeup? I've seen them on Instagram. I don't know where they find the energy from, but they are there. Then there's the normal people like me that have their hair up in a bun, look like they haven't slept in 6 months, and have sick and God knows what down their t-shirt. Everyone does what suits them. You can't sit there, Lisa, telling young mums or mums of young children what they should and shouldn't be doing. I've seen lots of mums on Instagram and YouTube. Brilliant mothers, and then they have half an hour to themselves to do their nails, or half an hour to themselves to put their face on while their husband watches the kids, or while he cooks dinner and pays attention to them, or whatever. You do what works in your home with your husband or your wife or your significant other or your no one, just you. You do what suits your household. You can't tell people, oh, stop doing this now, you've had a baby. That's bollocks.
My house so clean and neat. Really getting into home decor. Little things like painting, or going to thrift stores and getting a chair to recover, things like that. Gardening. I really, really got into.
Yes, you got into that. Do you not think that women today that are having children already know how to look after a house and a child? And they really don't need advice from you 40 years too fucking late. It's different now, Lisa. Completely fucking different. Gardening.
Flowers and my yard. And when Brooke was little, all the way up until I had Will, I think I've told you this, every afternoon we would water the plants. And we would go outside. It would usually be about an hour before John was coming home. We would go outside and I would make sure I had her little gloves, her gardening tools, her different kinds of watering cans. And then what started is different kids in the neighborhood would come over and help me water my plants. So I started getting all kinds of little cute watering cans, and we would go out and we would water my plants. Sometimes the moms would come over with them, and it was just a good afternoon thing to do. And I would just let them make a mess.
Oh, I bet she did. Can you imagine Lisa letting children make a mess? Yeah, right, that never fucking happened. And did they ever get paid for all the yard work?
Then John would get home, and then probably about 30 minutes after that, we would start wrapping up, go in, take our bath, cook dinner, and then, do our nighttime stuff. So I think what I did right is I really knew that it wasn't time for me. Whether I consciously did it or not, I would get into things that were fun.
It wasn't time for me. So the £100 a week $100 a week that you spent on a Friday, and the show and tell you did for John on a Friday night, and the me time when you shut the door and everybody knew you were in the bathroom and you weren't to be, what's the word? What's the word? Anyway, that was your time, your me time, and everybody knew about that. You didn't do anything for you, though, did you? Okay, whatever.
Fun to me, and that benefited my family. I remember taking Brooke to go strawberry picking, and then we came home and we made freezer jam with our strawberries. I got into the Pampered Chef and got into making all of those different recipes.
So why can't you cook now then? If you were this wonderful housewife that made jam and cooked lots of different dishes, did it take you 3 hours to do a flatbread that nobody liked but you and Brooke? Why have we never seen you cook anything but that and you fucked it up?
Other thing I did a lot more when I was younger is we would have other couples over, and I got into entertaining a little bit more.
Fuck off. Can anyone imagine her entertaining at any point? So if you did all this, why don't you still have those friends? Why don't you still entertain?
Making crab dip and just getting everything just right, and then their children would play with our children and we would have a nice dinner. That was what I kind of got into. I still loved makeup, but I had one drawer full of makeup. And
like a normal person.
And we'll go into the makeup and the clothes because I do have some tips for that too. So that is my tip. Try to shift your focus a little bit. You still want to look good, feel good, and do those things that make you.
People know that, dumb fuck. Really? Shift your focus to your child. No fucking shit, Sherlock. Most women get that. Most women have that sorted out before they have the baby. What? Who does she think she's talking to? Who needs to hear this? 'Cause young mums today, Lisa, have got it going on. They know what they're doing. They've got fucking gadgets for everything. They make sure that their husbands are pulling their weight too, or their wives are pulling their weight. It's not just I'm mum and I do everything. This is our child. You don't need to tell them anything. They could tell you a thing or two, probably.
But shift your, I'm going to say obsessive because that's how I am. Shift your obsessive focus to things that benefit your family and things that are more practical for you to do at that time. I see you. Okay, now, so say you're into cooking and you're into home decor and you look those things up on YouTube. Well, of course, what are you going to see? You're going to see people with these grand kitchens. You're going to see people with these huge houses.
What, like you?
And it's easy to let that, whether you know it or not, it's easy to let that kind of dampen your spirit a little bit.
Like it did to you, and then you had to move and get the bigger house with all of the upstairs for you that you don't even fucking use. Only when it suits. The dining table's still yours, the kitchen area's still yours, all the closets off your bedroom are yours, the majority of the bathroom is yours, unless you want to use John's section for something else, then that's yours as well. Who is listening to this woman?
This is my biggest advice. First of all, try your best not to compare yourself to other people.
But you just said that's what you did. You had to cut so many people out of your life because you were comparing what they had to what you didn't have.
But that is way easier said than done. The thing that has always worked best for me is compare yourself to who you were yesterday. That works throughout your life. So what I have always tried to do is to become a better and better and better whatever I'm doing.
Yeah, that didn't work very well, did it? Because I actually preferred you back in the day before you became a better version of yourself.
I might be a better and better and better flower gardener. I might be a better and better and better cook. Better and better.
You're not a better cook though, are you? And when exactly do you cook? Never.
Better entertainment. I always tried to compare myself to who I was yesterday. But this is another tip. Don't watch those people that are, first of all, if they're on YouTube, they're probably doing it for a living. So it makes more sense for them to have more pots and pans, a better, bigger kitchen that might even be just a setup for their videos. Try to compare yourself to someone like you. Apples to apples, oranges to oranges. You know how you were yesterday. Try to take what you learned. Try to take the things that you didn't do right. Like when I got into the pound cakes, I was determined I was making the best pound cake there ever was. So I made pound cake after pound cake. And I loved learning about the different flours you can use, the different methods, the different pans. So that was something that I
never knew Lisa could make pound cake. So you knew how to make all the different pound cakes. Wasn't it a lemon pound cake that Brooke wanted for her birthday? And Lisa refused to make it. So Brooke's grandmother made it for her instead. Did that obsession wear off then? Ah, see, that's the thing, isn't it? You only wanted to make pound cake when you wanted to make pound cake for you. Not when somebody else wanted it. Wouldn't that have been a perfect thing to say, now this is something I know about. I know about pound cake. I obsessed over pound cake like I do over shoes and perfumes and every fucking thing else in my life. I can make your birthday cake, Brooke, but no, it never happened, did it?
I could do, my whole family could benefit from. It was something I could do while I was home with my children and, doing this and that, all the things I needed to do. It was something that kind of fed my soul because I could work on becoming better and better and better. That's kind of like a small example, but you can go with anything. You could go with anything that you're interested in. Okay, the next thing I would say is patience. Patience will be your best friend, and I have very little patience. I've gotten much better at patience, and I think it's because of this one thing. Have fun looking forward to things. have fun setting a goal and then working.
Have fun looking forward to things. That's a great tip, that. Not enjoy where you are now. Have fun with your family now. Find things that you all enjoy to do now. Enjoy your time together. Enjoy your bath on your own with your glass of wine. Enjoy when you give your baby that last bottle of a night and they smell a Johnson's bubble bath and they're snuggled into you and you know they're going to sleep. No. Look forward to things. That's your problem, Lisa. You're always looking forward to the next thing. You never actually stop and realise what you have and enjoy the here and now. It's always looking forward to something else. That's sad. Please, anyone that's come here to tell me to leave her alone, if you know a young person that's watched this video, please have a word with them.
Towards that goal. Like John and I would set goals, even if we didn't, sit down and say that. We always knew we would one day get XYZ, and spend more time planning and knowing that one day you are going to wear high heels again.
Oh, for the love of fuck. What the actual... Who? What? Plan for and look forward to those high heels that you're going... Shut the fuck up, Lisa. You know nothing about anything, you fucking airhead. Look forward to... No! That's why no one's ever fucking happy with what they've got, because they're always looking forward to something else. Biggest load of bollocks I've ever heard.
One day you may have a sports car again.
Woohoo!
Don't get wrapped up into, oh, I've lost myself. I'm not that person. I'm not the hot girl I used to be.
You just know this is her, don't you? That's what it was. She used to be the hot girl in the Corvette, and now she's the dowdy mum pushing a buggy and she doesn't like it. So she's looking forward to the days when the kids are gone and she can be the hot mother again.
All the things that I would say to myself, of course, I always wanted to be a mom and I always wanted children. So that was a really easy sacrifice for me to make. I didn't mind driving the wagon, because...
Sacrifice. That was an easy sacrifice for me to make. Are you listening to what she's actually saying? How many of you out there, when you had your first child, turned round and said, oh, this is a sacrifice I can do? Not, how lucky am I? Look at the blessing I have. How many people have had miscarriages and lost their children? How many people can't have children? How many people will give their right arm for a baby and couldn't give a fuck about having to drive a wagon? They'd walk everywhere gladly if they had a child. But she sees it as a fucking sacrifice.
Because that was my identity. I wanted to be that person. But I wanted the sportiest wagon they had. And I wanted to tint my windows. I still modified everything to my style. But what I wish I would have done more is sit down with John and really brainstorm and even dream and set goals, attainable goals, and had fun kind of reaching those. I think we did that without, really talking about it. But I now love that. I love to set a goal in my mind, and working for it is just as much fun, if not more, than achieving it.
Oh, fuck off. Pardon me. I just can't with this fucking woman. I was just talking to my son earlier. I don't know, every so often Butlins gets brought up. Myself and my husband and my son were talking. And I said, when I look back now, we left Butlins with 2 suitcases, a paper basket, black and white portable telly, a sandwich toaster and an ironing board. That was it. We had the clothes that fit in the case, along with personal hygiene stuff and everything else, and shoes. Everything we owned was in one suitcase. And now we own a home, we own our car, we've got 2 beautiful children. I could do with an ensuite bathroom, but hey ho. But you know what I mean? We look back and say, wow, look at how far we've come. We don't sit here and say, right, I want an ensuite bathroom. There's nothing I can physically do to get the ensuite bathroom. So I'm not going to set that as a goal, because it's a goal I may never reach. And then what? I'm sat here unhappy because I didn't reach the goal I set for myself. How about telling new mums to be happy with what they've got? To be grateful that they've got a child, that they've got a significant other, that they've got a roof over their head, that they've got food in the fridge. Who gives a fuck whether they've got a fucking fanny wagon or whatever the fuck you're going on about? Nobody cares. You ask any mother, what's more important, your car or your child? No one gives a fuck about what car they're driving. How much more of this is there? 9 minutes 44. Hell.
It's kind of like if you're looking forward to a party, or looking forward to a big meal, or looking forward to some event. Sometimes the looking forward to it is the best part. But make that, part of your daily life, even with your home.
So what happens if you're looking forward to this thing and everything falls through?
And be realistic and be patient and enjoy the process. Okay, the next one, number 5, is teamwork. It is very easy to...
Teamwork. Tell me when you and John have worked as a team. You know they say there's no I in team. Yeah, there is. John. He's the I. He's the only one in that team. He's the one that does the grocery shopping. He's the one that does the cooking. He's the one that looks after the kids. He's the one that does the yard work. He's the one that does the bitcoining. He's the one that has to open boxes for widow Lisa because she might cut her fingers.
And I'm sure it's like this with moms that go to work. It might even be worse because you're both going to work. One of you is picking up the kids, and then, who's going to cook? But I can only speak from my experience, and I know that it's easy to get into I did this, you did that, and you're home all day, and it's easy to think, well, they've got it so easy. But you have to remember, they're at work, and home needs to be a place that they look forward to coming home to, and it needs to be a place where you spend that time building your family unit. You need to spend that time building your marriage and building your family structure, your unit, your bonds. And so try not to become resentful. If you need to communicate more, I used to have to really self-reflect because I would catch myself feeling jealous that he got to get dressed and go somewhere. But, I would think, Lisa,
you chose to be a stay-at-home mum. You said to John on your first date, I want children and I want to be a stay-at-home mum. So you can't have it both ways. You can't say what you want and then whinge about what you got. That was what you chose. One tip I will give newlyweds: talk to each other. Don't bottle things up, and don't assume, especially with men and women, don't assume that he knows why you're angry, because they're stupid. I remember getting so fucking wound up with my husband over things, and then one day he just turned around and he said to me, I don't do hints. If you want me to do something, tell me what you want me to do and I'll do it. From that day forward, not a problem. Fuck off out of the room, you're irritating me. Okay. Let me know when you want a cup of coffee, I'll come back. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if you can talk to your other half like that, you're sorted. That's all you need to do, is talk. It's like, they will understand if you turn around and say, you lucky fucker, you got out of the house today. I've been shoveling sick for 17 hours or whatever. Just tell them. Talk. Have a conversation. That's more important than planning parties or looking forward to. Living in the now and having everything on an even keel and respecting each other.
So this is what you wanted. This is what you wanted. You wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. He is going to work. He is paying our bills. He's got our insurance. He is a good man, a good father. He comes home. He does not want me to have an attitude. That is not what I want for my husband, my life. That's not what I want for me and my family. So I would have to get over it. And trust me, John would come home and sometimes turn right back around and go to the gym. He would have work functions and everything. So I would have to, like I always say, suck it up. I would have to suck it up. And another thing is, I always say to myself, is pick your sacrifice. I sacrificed those things to be a stay-at-home mom. I sacrificed, and I'm not saying it like, oh, I sacrificed. I'm just saying I had to say it to myself. You picked this. You decided to be this stay-at-home mom. You wanted the children. So you cannot hold it against him for doing what he's supposed to do. You have to keep that in mind. Don't make it a you against him. If you feel yourself getting there, try to really self-reflect and really talk to him and tell him how you're feeling. And, you know, he may have some feelings too. Try to make it a warm place. Your kids want to see your husband and their daddy come home. Don't make it a bad situation when they get there. Another thing.
Does that make you think that that's what she used to do until she learnt to do better? It's not fair. I've been stuck in the house all day. I never got to go to the mall or anything. Brooke ate my lipstick.
That I didn't think of, and I don't think a lot of people think of, is a lot of times, I know John and I, we dated, I think it was, 3 months later we were engaged. I think 8 months later we were married. And then however months later, I think it only took 2 months to get pregnant with Brooke, and then we had a family, which we knew, I can go into that later, but we knew we were on the same page, and that was our plan. So that was the beginning of our marriage. It was really like the beginning of our relationship together. And something you don't realize, and I think most people have children probably within the first, 5 years of their marriage, which is really, it may seem like a long time at the time, but it's really the beginning of your marriage. Think of those years as building blocks for the future. I think a lot of people probably get divorced when they have small children, and a lot of that issue may be the children. It may be their budget. It may be the expectations that they had that they didn't discuss before they got married. You really need to, I will link up here a before you get married video that I did that I really still believe in.
A checklist for your new husband. How much do they earn? Are they willing to be a doormat for you? Can you say to them, I want this, this and this, and get it? Who goes into marriage like that? Does that not tell you something about her, that she had a checklist? And the first time she met him, she said, I want this, this, this and this. If we're getting married, this is how I want it. Normal people fall in love with somebody. Doesn't matter if they're the local rag and bone man or the fucking MP, Prime Minister, fucking Prince Harry. Can't use him as an example, as I think he was fucking headhunted. But when Prince William fell in love with Kate at college, he wasn't thinking about, oh, is she going to make a good future queen? Is she this? Is she that? He saw her in a see-through top and thought, whoa, that That's what most people do. They fall in love. And don't give me all this bollocks about, oh, you only had a short time to organise stuff. 9 weeks. I met my husband. I was married. Within 9 weeks to the day we had our first date, we got married. And then, like I said, we married in June. I fell pregnant in August. So we had a baby on our first anniversary. She makes it sound like she did it, so, oh, because she left it late and everything was so quick and da-da-da-da-da and she knows better and blah, 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 blah. No, you don't. And every fucking marriage is different. Just because you felt fucking narky when John came home and you had to tell yourself, no, that's what I asked for, that says a lot about you.
So a lot of things just kind of happen like right there at the beginning of your marriage. And I just hate to think of all the people that probably could have stayed together, that probably still loved each other so much. They loved their children. They wanted to be married, but they just couldn't take the constant arguing, the constant resentment, and they lost respect for each other and they ended up getting a divorce. And I think a way that you can kind of maybe get through that is think of that time as the building blocks for your marriage after your kids get older, because I'm telling you, there comes a day that you turn around and there's no kids there and it's just you and him. And if you didn't work on that marriage and that friendship and that relationship the whole time, you may be standing there with a stranger. You don't want that to happen. I know John and I feel like we love and respect each other the most we ever have. And I think that is because, it's because we were both older, more mature when we got married, and we really laid the groundwork and we really knew we were working towards the same things, but that didn't go without, I always think about this little thing that happened. Maybe you'll get what I'm talking about. But, we had that routine, especially when we first moved in our house. Brooke was just, I think, 1 year old. And we built it basically ourselves. John got his contractor's license. So we were doing our own landscaping. And there were days that we were out in the yard all day. And of course, I was the one mostly, entertaining Brooke and everything. And then it would get to that time where it was dinner time and time for her to take a bath. And we used to have to pick her up and take her straight, like John would go get the bath ready. And I would, sometimes have to even undress her and take her straight in to the bathtub. And she had, the whole routine, the toys, the bubbles, this, that, and the other thing. And I would go ahead and start dinner. Then John would finish up. I can't remember exactly how it went, but I remember this little argument so vividly. I remember going in there and you know how there's always toys and bubbles and like yuck in the tub, especially when there's
yuck in the tub. Really?
that dirty, and you have to take the shower head and then you have to get all the toys out, and get everything cleaned up. And for some reason this night, I must have been in a bad mood or something. And I fussed at John for that. I just got through cleaning up the tub like I do every night. And he said, well, you always do it, so I never think about it. And I was like, that's right, I do. How was he supposed to know tonight, out of all the nights, I really was going to get,
But here was me thinking, you said you discussed everything. You spoke to each other. And now you're saying that you obviously didn't speak to each other because you had that boiling up and boiling up and boiling up that he never cleaned the bath after he bathed her.
Ticked off about that. I must have been kind of just at my wit's end or tired or something like that. Always remember that. That just comes with communication. And you do kind of like in a marriage, especially with young children, you'll get your kind of like different little tasks that you do. So that's something to easily get resentful or angry about, but always keep that in mind. If they already expect you to do it, then don't get mad because you're already doing it. And if you are, maybe discuss that. So those are just a few things that I thought may help you.
Oh wow, I never would have got through a marriage without those 5 tips. Anyone else?
I know some of these things helped me, and I wish I would have thought about some of these things to help me even more. My best advice is just enjoy this time. I mean, you will have the rest of your life to buy handbags. You will have the rest of your life to buy makeup. You will just...
Not everybody's you, Lisa. They're not waiting for their kids to grow up so they can buy handbags and makeup.
To have plenty of time like we have had to buy another house, another car. Just enjoy your children. Enjoy that time that you will never get back. I could cook a big meal now and I could have Brooke come home.
You cook a big meal? When? You don't cook!
And everybody sit down. It's still not going to be like it was when I got to pull up that high chair to the side and I got to just be in that mommy stage. It will never be like that again.
Anyone get the impression that Lisa misses the mommy stage when they were little and she could strap them in a high chair and they had to do what they were told?
So please enjoy those times. If your floor is a mess, just leave it a mess. Just don't worry about it. Just enjoy your kids. And thank you so much for watching. I will be making more videos like this. My outfit of the day is just an older Zara dress.
Oh, now you're pulling the fucking top up over your tits. It's taken you till now to realise that your tits were hanging out, is it?
Good big sunglasses that I will put in my hair most of the day. And my fragrance of the day is this one. It's the Narciso Rodriguez. And I believe this one, what is the name of this one? Ombre. It is so good. It is so good. I'll put the notes up here, but it's light, it's sexy, it's a good summery scent. I believe it might have either Tahitian flower or ylang ylang in it. Musky, it's a good one. I have all my Dean Davidson jewelry and I've got lots to do today. I just wanted to talk to you for a little bit and I will see you. I've got a video for tomorrow, so I will probably see you on Friday. Have a good week and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Who ever told her she could give fucking advice to people? Who? She should do a video on how to snag a husband that does everything you tell him and never complains. That'd be an interesting fucking video. Anyhow, we got to the end. Congratulations if you made it here with me. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.